Welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4. It's been a while, because I just haven't had the motivation to really get much recording done these days. You're worried about Nanako, and what happened to Namatame's hospital room as well. Snow has begun to fall, and the fog completely envelops the town. Ah yes, I remember what happened now. What is going to happen? You feel exhausted. It would be best if you went to bed early today. How the fuck does he do it? Seriously, after loads of the stuff that happens in this game and he so easily goes to sleep, it makes no sense. This...
Welcome. It's been quite some time.
It seems you've been summoned to the Velvet Room.
Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world.
Getting deja vu with those words there, Igor.
I have summoned you within your dreams. Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far. Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery?
I can!
Splendid! The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey? It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight.
Are we going to watch a montage?
Margaret?
No, it's not Margaret, it's Margaret! Voices you've heard many times before echo in your mind. Such as...
Really getting it is totally different. I mean, really finding yourself.
You're the only one who didn't pay attention to the rumors flying around about me. You saw me as I am. What's right? What you should choose to do in life. The answers to those things lie within you. I think I need to start being more selfish.
I'm going to think about my life and set my own path.
That one just stands out, doesn't it? Just these ones are just like, yeah, I should totally... And all of a sudden, I think I should be more selfish.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
You know what's kind of sad is that we didn't max out Konishi's one, so his one isn't there. But I get the feeling we might be able to max that one out by the end of all this.
Alright, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
What about Nato?
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. Those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
Also don't get... Was it like for only maxed out social links when it came to the main team, or did it not matter because we haven't actually maxed out Kanji's one? Is that drum roll? No, that was the car. It seems that the car stopped moving.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
Where the hell are we anyway? The Velvet
As I
Room.
mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life.
No, serious, I get this, the Velvet Room and all that, but it's always moving. So where the hell are we location-wise?
Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast. Some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
And some are even pissed on.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
So is this like represented just like it's a pretty chill person? It's just like let's just sit down and chill, and it's nice, kind of just like let's have a drink or something. You can hear something in the distance. And then you woke up? Seems that you've been sleeping until now. You hear the doorbell ringing. Well, it would have been odd if that was part of the dream, wouldn't it? It's just like, oh, the doorbell's ringing. Wait, this car doesn't have a doorbell. I don't know. Someone seems to be at the door. This microphone just never stays steady. What?
Teddy's missing.
Yeah, but why do characters seem to do this a lot? They like ding dong, and then like the protagonist will come down and they're already opened the door. They weren't invited. It wasn't, oh, you can come in or just open the door for them. No. They like ding dong, opens the door. Ding dong, inside the house. Ding dong. I mean, what the hell? If, like, real life, man, when people seem to knock on our door, they like, just like, bip, 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 bip. We don't actually have a doorbell, because our doorbell is pretty much the dog's. Anyone who touches the gate, they're already at it. Trouble is, we never tend to answer the door quick enough, because they just like, knock. Couple seconds past, I'm gone. It's just like, seriously, they don't stick around at all.
I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
I'm worried.
Yeah, me too. He's acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
Where could Teddy have gone? In any case, you decide to go look for him. We're a freaking headache. Ow.
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
What is it with video games and the way, like, they always have to indicate when a character is talking by moving their hands in that way? Can you imagine if everyone talked like that? Like, anytime they spoke, they just, like, gesture their hand, just like,
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there.
Well, she didn't do
The fog's
it.
so dense, it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here.
You recall the mysterious dream you had last night. This may be a time for contemplation rather than action. That is what Igor said, but... Let us think about this.
I guess that's all we can do right now.
Wasn't that what we are already doing?
He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now we must concentrate on the case. It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed. Miss Yamano the announcer, and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Well, how come, like, if he had an alibi when she died? Why aren't we talking about that?
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself.
Yeah, what he's like saying about it being a wonderful world, I just imagine him singing that song.
What do you think, Senpai?
There's something else.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too."
Yeah, if he really did intend to save them through death, how come he was happy that they were alive?
So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan. Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head. The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
The possibility of a culprit besides Namatame. Could there be something that proves this possibility? Is there anything? It doesn't really say anything. Let's see. The alibi?
Her alibi? Wasn't it airtight right from the beginning? How could she kidnap people and throw them into TVs if she's out of the country?
Oh, sorry. Just blanked out there. Didn't realize what I was saying there. What a question I was answering there. The possibility of a culprit besides Namatame. The warning letter?
Warning letter? Oh yeah! Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right? Let's review them.
You recall that the first warning letter said don't rescue anymore. And the second one said if you don't stop this time, someone close will be put in and killed.
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kind of odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like don't rescue or kill?
Exactly, a good point.
Yeah, and the will be put in and killed part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like I'll put in and kill?
Hey, could this mean...
Namatame didn't write it.
Yeah. It's almost like someone else wrote this letter.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first two cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV, and yet he did. It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Someone else? Then, it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet. We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
You all work together to take another step forward towards the truth. Bonds of friendship. Rank 2. The Seekers of Truth social link has reached level 2. Your powers to create personas of the headache. Judgment Arcanos grew.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan. But there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police. I'd like a few words with Namatame-san. May I go in?
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah, understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes. Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
I'd like him to accompany me as well. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
A moment. Breaking door.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself. We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too. This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san. A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
Man, he's really changed of attitude real quickly there.
Understood. Please be careful. I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
That is a bit ridiculous.
Wow.
You know, wow indeed. When they just came onto the screen, it's like, man, look at all the color, man.
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object. So he won't be gone long.
Alright, then now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
You know, does he always have those headphones with him at all times? Does he even listen to anything on them? Never really thought of that. Was it just like, 'cause it looks cool?
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you. It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case.
Why don't you start up by saying, sorry about the incident yesterday where we tried to throw you in the TV and all that, but can you answer some questions?
And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are. But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
It seems that he understands what you're saying. What should you ask him? Did you kill those two girls?
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
Who'd you throw in first?
Huh? Me?
What should you ask him? Is killing saving people?
No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed.
You think they would have added on further questions? Because, like, the two that died were the announcer and Aki Kanishi. And he just pointed out that the one he put in the TV first was Yukiko. So that was after the first two incidents. So if what he's saying here is he had nothing to do with the first two.
That's why I put them in there.
But you don't get any question for it.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far. After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her.
Is it just me or did Nado's voice sound a bit robotic there when she said Yukiko's name? Yukiko Amagi.
And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all falls into place. His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Indulge us in a few more questions.
What should you ask him now? Well, let's start with the main one then.
I have no idea. I want to know that too.
Why the warning letters?
What are you talking about?
It's weird, really, isn't it? You'd think they'd follow up when he says something like that, but you just ask him the three questions in whatever order you want. Why did you enter the TV?
I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place.
As I thought.
You believe me? Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you. We know about the other world. In fact, We're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Only you?
We did blame you for everything at first.
But now that we come to understand it, we're not seeing you as a complete asshole.
But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Please, tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
You're willing to listen? Do my story? All right.
Flashback time. In a few seconds.
Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home as if to run away from the scandal. And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection. And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help. Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV.
Well, if that would have happened, you could have probably just be like, hey, I'm sorry, so where is this? Fuck.
I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane. In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown.
Namatame is casting his eyes downward painfully.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remember the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again. And I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions.
You know, again, didn't one of the characters pronounce it as Inaba, and now pronounce it as Inaba again? Which is correct.
I lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself.
Perhaps Nyler.
Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did. So I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits, and gave me a job with the family business. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her, and told her to be careful.
His animation looks so awkward there. Like slightly hunched forward, just like, gotta do the hand movement because it indicates that I am speaking.
But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on, please!
Well, we've never seen that happen, have we? We just know of the two deaths, but never actually seen it.
The next day, they found her dead. I knew she was going to be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her. She gave meaning to my life. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you. She'll be kidnapped next, and murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that.
I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then?
The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her?
That's kind of, I mean, he saw, at least Saki, die on the Midnight Channel, so by that logic, why would he think putting them into it would save them?
What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it?
The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered.
You know, when Yuko appeared on the Midnight Channel, wasn't she all just like, saying like, I'm gonna go find myself a hot stud and all that? I wonder if he saw any of that.
Once things calmed down, I could just let her out again.
There's a point. I mean, we just like faintly see it in the background there. I wonder if he saw like the stuff that we'd seen when everyone appeared on the Midnight Channel. Would be interesting.
She's inside the TV. There's no way they can find her.
It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate?
That's a bit absurd.
Was it my mission to save people?
But then again, the whole thing is absurd, really. I mean, remember when we first got in the Midnight Channel, it's like, now we have personas, special powers that don't really have much of an explanation, but fuck it, we got personas!
But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought.
Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
So it more or less took till now for him to realize that he wasn't actually saving them. It was us that had to do the saving in the end.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
And it's obvious that since they each survived each instant, he thought he was actually saving them.
Mission, give me a break. You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me.
Well,
I knew
naturally.
the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a feeling that was it.
How long did it take to figure that out, though?
When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
Yeah, it makes sense. If it was before that, they'd be like, then why are you continuing?
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place. I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was.
Oh, come on. It's just a bit foggy and a bunch of monsters and all that, but what else is there really to it?
I never knew. you couldn't even get out of that place on your own. I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You know what? Now that I think about it, Teddy, he was always able to get us out of there all the time. He just like tap his foot and a bunch of TVs come down out of nowhere, and then just like go 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 go. If he knew nothing about himself, how did he know what the exit to the place? Well, oh man, it's so confusing.
You really were trying to save people.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society. But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero.
It's like, oh, sorry, old man, only teenagers can be heroes in RPGs.
I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them.
You know, that'd be an interesting game. Middle-aged characters in an RPG, and they're the main characters. That would be a hell of a change, wouldn't it?
I'm to blame for all of this.
It probably is. I just never heard of it. What's done is done.
I suppose so. But the things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that.
So, if anything, it'd be kidnapping, really. I mean, none of the ones he shoved into the TV died.
I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences. Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
Not only that, but they would have thrown him into the TV, thus doing exactly what happened in the first cases.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
I'm such a joke. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
That's our plan.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first two victims into the TV.
And that's how you've taken another step towards the truth. Bonds of friendship. It would be funny if, like, it was gonna go to that, and then the security guard guy just says, "Wait a minute, what are you guys talking about?" And he awkwardly gets cut off, and then once they leave, just like, "Okay, go." Bonds of friendship. But nope, he waits till after that.
I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh. Better not see you rascals here again.
Damn meddling kids. And if Teddy was there and the damn bear.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out.
You know, Teddy is like the only one that hasn't been informed from what we know that Nanako is alive.
Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details. But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Tomorrow you'll all be going out to talk to people in town. Will this finally help uncover the information that will lead you to the true culprit? You decide to go home early and get some rest. You should go to bed early to prepare for tomorrow's investigation. I'm still baffled how easily he sleeps, man. It's ridiculous. Me, when I try to sleep, sometimes I literally do. Just fall asleep easily and be like... But then there are times when I'm just like... God damn it, mind, sleep! Just like goes over all kinds of things. Like, just shut up! Just like, I don't want to debate like freaking state of the world or any shit like that. I want to sleep, you know? Today's the day the school was founded, so you have the day off from school. I wonder how old the school is then. You need to investigate the town. Wonder if you'll be able to gather the information you need to catch killer. Well, we shall do that. Hey, I just noticed that's the little arrow that looks like some person's head with like a continuously moving body. Is this like Google Maps or what? Well, I shall see you next time, viewers. Holy shit, 47 minutes. Didn't realize it was recording that long, but nonetheless, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.